February is a great time to take a step back out into the garden and kind of give it a look. I'm going to be showing you a bit of what's going on. I've got my almond tree that has those water bottles hanging so that it trains the branches to come down lower. Over to the right of it is a blackberry bush. Hasn't quite had a chance to go dormant. I'm interested to see what happens. It's been a warmer winter, so it's got a lot of green and it's starting to grow. We'll update you on that later. Coming over to the right of that, I have my apricot tree that I last year had done the same thing with the bottles to give it more of an opened up look in the middle, bringing these branches down, giving it a good center, a lot of light to pass through onto the fruit and foliage. Below the apricot, I got these strawberries that are growing and are going to be producing some really good fruits here to come. Can't wait for that. I think they're in a little bit early, but I'll take it. Behind me are the peas I've been enjoying over the winter. Some of them grow more fibrous and some of them grow to where you can eat the entirety of the bean and the outer shell. Some of these bigger ones, I like to crack them open and then taste inside because the peas are nice and sweet and you can't really eat the outer shell of them. These are the little guys right here. Just crack that open, pop them out. They make for one heck of a winter health snack. Over here I got my kiwi, which not quite sure what it's going to do in terms of which one's female, which one's male, as you need two in order to grow the kiwi, it says. So I'm going to figure out while it starts to grow across these vines I've created, which one's the female, which one's the male, and then probably have to retrain it later so I can get more female growth as the plant grows. Kind of a questionable spot to have put it, but we'll see how it works out. Over to the right, I have my plum tree, which I've done the same thing with the water bottles to get the branches to lower to bring the fruit to me, and also 45-degree facing branches tend to produce fruit instead of standing up tall, growing to the sky. I've allowed it to come down lower so I can get to the fruit easier and not overwhelming everything with a big, huge tree. And these water bottles work perfect for it. I've done the same with the peach tree over to the right, which was growing up at one point. Now I have it much more bonsai'd than just trying to grow up to the heavens. And you can see it works pretty good. Now over here we've got the back portion where I have artichoke going, some citrus, and also a variety of spinach, garlic, onion, little patch. Across from that, there's some potted things I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with, but trying to create something to where it'll block the weeds from growing as I plan what's going to go on. I've got various amounts of blueberries and guava, pineapple, and that right there is a cherry tree with some grapevines going trellising along the fence, which are going to be really good, with a pomegranate tree that did very well for me last year. Some citrus, the neighbor's citrus. What's this guy? Who is this? Who is that? Who is that? He looks tasty. Tasty. I'm just a friendly bird. Yeah. I'm out of here. I'll see you again. Walking over to the other side of the yard, I've come across the artichoke Also an area where I plan to plant some peppers and tomatoes. Right now it's covered up for keeping the weeds out. And just across from that is a asparagus patch that I have. Need to clean it up a bit, but so far it's doing a pretty good job. Let's check it out a little bit. It's pretty interesting how these things grow. They kind of just poke up from the ground, from the root that which they are growing under. They take anywhere from 2 to 3 to 4 years to really start going. Some of these are 1-year-olds. Some of these are 2-year-old. And once they're about a little bigger than the size of a number 2 pencil, you can start eating them and cutting them down there at the bottom. And they're really good. You can eat them raw. And you can kind of see the root cuttings from previous ones I've cut. You can see it much better over here. Real down low, you just cut them down there at the very bottom, and I guess they just keep growing. You'd think that they'd get bunched up, but they do a great job. Asparagus in February all day long. But they're just really pretty and very delicious. And over there's a citrus I have with another pomegranate across from it. And then across from that is a fig that is being blessed. And this is pretty much the expectations of a February garden. California, there's a bit more growing, but everything's just kind of half alive, half dead. And eventually it's going to be getting a lot better as things grow. I got a little grass pile I got going. And then the protector of the garden.